Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network.
The economy projected to grow by 2% this year. Water returns to the residents of St. Joseph. And coming up in sports.
Beautiful stroke.
Blackwood misses out on a ton as the Windies fall short in the second test against Pakistan.
The CBC Headline News, brought to you by Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Shane Jones with the Tuesday, October 25th edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story, the Barbados economy is set to grow by 2% this year. This is according to Central Bank Governor Dr. Delal Worrell. Now, in the bank's economic review of the Barbados economy for the first 9 months of 2016, Dr. Worrell revealed that the economy expanded by 1.3% so far. He says the additional growth will be driven by the competitive and highly regarded tourism sector.
An 11% increase in airline capacity is expected from the US and Canada for the coming tourist season. A pickup in construction activity is also anticipated, much of it tourism related. The combined effect of the August fiscal measures and revenues from the sale of the Barbados National Oil Terminal Limited is expected to reduce the government's deficit to the end of the fiscal year slightly above 4% of GDP.
The central bank governor says at the end of September, foreign reserves stood at $900 million, which represents 14 weeks of import cover. He says government's financing needs for the period April to September were met by using domestic sources to the tune of $326 million.
The National Insurance increased their investment in securities by $91 million. And insurance companies and other non-bank investors provided $4 million worth of financing. In addition, there was an $84 million switch from foreign to domestic financing because of amortization of foreign loans. The resulting money creation by the central bank financing government was $114 million.
Residents of some St. Joseph districts today continued to breathe sighs of relief as water returned to their taps. It comes as the BWA commissioned a second borehole in Sweetvale, St. George. Today, corporate communications specialist Joanne Haig and a team from the media walked through some of the affected districts such as Horse Hill, Bissex, Lammings and Braggs Hill. We get more in this report.
Smiles returned to the faces of many St. Joseph residents as the water flowed from their taps once again. A few weeks ago, they were left disgruntled as they were met with continuous interruptions to their service. Now it is a sense of normalcy as they have the chance to get laundry done or simply get a glass of water.
I feel good enough because I didn't get water for the last 16 weeks or something weeks. So I feel good enough because I got a good bath since Saturday. No, so I've been in a bucket now, so I know getting in shower now good. So I feel very good.
I had a good bath. First time in months. Okay. But at least I had a bath.
I feel very good. Very good. I could go ahead and take my shower as usual. And I'm feeling all right.
You know, to get up for the morning, I got to go all like St. Andrew or all down the East Coast.
Listen, have a look at the laundry. At least she's grateful that she can sing.
All down the East Coast. All down the East Coast. All down St. Andrew. And people taking my picture with catching water with a big long containers all the way for the truck.
They're taking a picture today with A, you were happy, B, you could do laundry, C, you could live your life.
I'm feeling good because it eased me a lot because every week I had to be tripping up, making trips with my car up down to my friend to do my laundry. So I'm so glad that that is back on now.
I feel good now. I hope that it stays on for a long time because it wasn't easy, and with the newborn baby, you know, it wasn't easy, but so far we are satisfied.
And like clockwork, BWA crews were out checking for leaks and flushing mains. Despite their joy, however, residents had one common question: how long would this last? Corporate communications specialist at the BWA, Joyanne Haig, says several factors could affect the supply.
No one can actually state how long anything would last for. It is really up to usage, one. Infrastructure failure, which could be a burst main, which may delay the process. A power outage could also occur, or equipment failure, and that from time to time that may go off. But the one that we're concerned about is the drought-like conditions that are hitting some of the higher areas. And even though this borehole is in St. George in the Sweetvale Basin, and if no rain comes over a period of time, that too will start to be impacted.
The BWA is again urging residents to continue conserving water. Lisa Lord, CBC News.
Well, it's great to see the relief on the residents' faces. Government has no intention of privatizing the Sanitation Service Authority. Minister of the Environment, Dr. Dennis Lowe, made that clear in the lower house while speaking on a resolution to accept the Barbados Green Economy Scoping Study as a national information document. His comments follow speculation that there is a move to privatize the SSA after private sector waste haulers were contracted recently to assist in garbage collection.
There is no intention on the part of the government to privatize the Sanitation Service Authority. I had a meeting with the staff, some of the staff recently, and I made it abundantly clear. This government took a position, even during the retrenchment, to ensure that the Sanitation Service Authority was protected, because we understand the vital role of that institution in our society and the delivery of an important social good.
Well, the minister added that the inclusion of private waste haulers is nothing new.
Last June, we had private haulers involved in the collection of waste. We didn't have compactors, but we had private haulers who came in with their trucks and their bobcats and assisted right after right during the crop over season, and then into Christmas. And we had also the services of the Drainage Division, the NCC, that assisted in the collection of waste.
Well, we're hearing that the Barbados Green Economy Scoping Study is to some extent outdated. This suggestion from St. George South Member of Parliament, Dwight Sutherland. He was speaking in the lower house debate on a motion for Parliament to accept the study as a national information document.
Under the caption, Taxation, Incentives and Fiscal Reform, 4.14, page 171, top of page 171. This document, Madam Deputy Speaker, speaks to Barbadians. They can write off up to $5,000 per year for home improvement. And it went further to speak about inclusive of purchase of solar heaters. And Mr. Speaker, we recall that over 2 years in this Honorable Chamber, the Minister of Finance removed that incentive. So indeed, this document, to me, Mr. Speaker, is an exercise in cosmetic in this Honorable House.
The island's literacy rate remains high. Minister of Education Ronald Jones was pressed to address the matter following what he says is misinformation in the public sphere. He will address the issue soon.
Some of the current discussion comes from the ill-informed and the uninformed relative to what is taking place in Barbados. So I'm going to shatter shortly a lot of the grunge, really, that I'm hearing out there. People need to have the facts. If they don't have them, sometimes just call and they will get them. It is real, it is dynamic, and it is now multi-factored.
Minister Jones says he is pleased with the academic, technical, and vocational progress of students in Barbados.
It's interesting because sometimes I become bothered myself about how they learn, because I'm still an old school person even though I embraced fully all the technologies and used all of them, but that the time they spend in learning is a lot less than what I would have spent in learning. And yet the outcomes or the outputs are a lot more substantial.
And the Ministry of Education is to roll out a suite of smart apparatus in secondary schools. The exciting range of devices, according to Minister Jones, will assist 5th and 6th form students. They will be introduced next year.
We will be putting into the schools in February, March 2017, over 20,000 pieces of apparatus, not smartphones, those are yours. We'll get them from Flow, whoever the providers, but tablets for particularly 5th and 6th form students, maybe 4th form students as well, laptops and computers for the labs and for other uses. So that this is very timely, you know, they're linked, very happy into those, especially for those students. And there are still some in Barbados who might not have easy access to the internet and therefore to the technology that makes it easier.
Minister Jones was speaking at the launch of the on-demand e-learning service Flow study. The Education Minister welcomed the initiative, calling it another investment in the youth. Managing Director of Flow Barbados, Niall Sheehy, says Flow is using technology to reach students where they are.
This is a very exciting time for us at Flow as we unveil Flow Study, the Caribbean's premier test preparation portal that provides secondary school students with educational content, practice quizzes and interactive games and grade books to track their progress. A while ago, Cable and Wireless Communications partnered with One-on-One Services, who are already an established brand in Jamaica, to deliver this cutting-edge initiative aimed at sharpening the academic skills of our youngsters. And as Barbados prepares to celebrate its 50th year of independence next month, it's important to note the significant strides that have been made as it relates to the use of technology in education.
The subject areas in the Flow study cover CSEC and CAPE. The students are going to love this. Head of Products Sharon Jummett says Flow will be working to ensure students can use the service on their mobile phones.
We as Flow, we want to invest in our young people, and we accept that to use stuff on the mobile phone, it'll cost you if it's always using up your data. So what we've done with Flow Study is we've set it up so that you must have a data plan, but it will not deplete your data usage, so that the students, if they're rushing and they need to get something done, they're on the bus, they can still pull up their mobile phone and access that data. So you have access in 3 ways, either on your mobile phone, on the internet via your tablet or your computer, and you also have the VOD content, which is on your Flow TV for those students who have access to Flow TV.
And a Smart Chef competition for secondary school students will soon be launched. CEO of the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation, Celeste Foster, says the program will help develop a cadre of students who could possibly fill vacancies in the hotel industry in the future.
We are seeing very often when we look in the newspaper that there's always a need for executive chefs, because we have good cooks but not good chefs, because we need to start a transition to understand that the difference between a good cook and a chef is the business side. So that's why we are having this particular program in November during Global Entrepreneurship Week in conjunction with Barbados Youth Business Trust, and that will bring 64 persons to the table to experience this.
The celebrations continue for the City of Bridgetown Cooperators Credit Union Limited as it marks its 33rd anniversary. 5 days after commemorating the milestone, the credit union has partnered with the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation's Guardians of Our Heritage initiative. Several senior COB officials were on hand to witness the hoisting of the 26th Barbados flag outside of the CBC. Reporter Kishmar Sinjus says COB has been working to ensure Barbadians are financially independent since 1983.
Thanks to COB, countless of Barbadian lives have been enriched. Barbadians are also saving more money. And thanks to COB, yet again in this our 50th year of political independence, many can boast proudly of owning their own home. We thank you, we salute you. You are a true guardian of our heritage.
Well, Vice President of the Board of Directors at COB, Adelaide Stevenson, conveyed best wishes to Barbados on behalf of the credit union's thousands of members. He says the COB is committed to the island.
58,000 members of the City of Bristol join in congratulating all Barbadians as we move towards celebrating 50 years of independence. Our national anthem challenges us to be firm craftsmen of our faith. Let us all join together, work hard together, use the cooperative model. Through City of Bristol and other credit unions, we have contributed significantly to the landscape in Barbados. We've helped countless Barbadians in achieving their dreams. But there's more to be done. Focus. Let's work together. Use the motto.
Okay, we'll take a short break here and come back with more news.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today.
I wish to celebrate in style this Christmas.
Yes, and in color too.
Harris Paints is giving you everything you wish this Christmas with up to 30% off select Harris products, plus a chance to win your share of $10,000 cash in weekly draws. Get one entry form with every $50 spent in Harris products.
New paint job inside and out.
And cash too. Sweet Harris.
See Press or Harris Paints social media for more. Get everything you wish this Christmas with Harris Paints.
A lot of people think that fast bikes are cool, and the girls sure like the guys who ride them. But like so many things about life, you gotta be careful. Having sex without a condom is like riding a bike without a helmet. It's just plain dumb. It's okay to have fun as long as you're smart about it. My name is Daniel the Lion Fortress, and I'm different, and I'm making a difference.
Live up. Love, protect, respect.
"30 students from 6 secondary schools across the island will be able to leave school with a national vocational qualification in agriculture entrepreneurship. They will earn it from participating in the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation and Massey Foundation's Schools Agriculture Project. The project was launched yesterday, and students will be exposed to the fundamentals in agriculture and crop management. Chairman of the Massey Foundation, Everton Brown, endorsed the project, saying it will encourage more young people to get involved in agriculture.
The agricultural sector traditionally tended to attract an older demographic. This will prove to be unsustainable over the long term. Therefore, one way of ensuring sustainability in the sector is by attracting more young people.
Chairman of the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation, Chris DeCaries, says agriculture is a critical element of the Barbadian economy.
When you go into the supermarket and you check out and you look at the bill, you realize it's a very big component of our expenditure. So it is very big business. Interesting thing about that supermarket bill is that a very large part of that comes from outside of Barbados, and it's obviously drains our foreign exchange, and to the extent that we can do it locally, not only do we generate more business activity here, but we also keep our foreign exchange.
Barbadians are being told they can expect a one-of-a-kind experience when the curtains rise for the Mira Show Me a Hero musical. The musical is being enacted in honor of the island's lone female Governor General, the late Dame Nita Barrow. Director Alison Seeley-Smith tells the CBC that rehearsals have been progressing well and gave an overview of the show, which will open at the Frank Colomer Hall on November 17th.
This is a very futuristic show. We're looking for new ways to take our heritage and our culture and our history, and instead of simply preserving them, what we're trying to do instead is activate them. Look for innovative ways to present them to a new demographic, to young people. And so this is set in a Barbados that we've never seen. This is 2116. So these kids get catapulted through the eye of a hurricane, and they end up in limbo. And they meet this spirit by the name of Legua. And Legua tests them. And the way that he tests one of them is through a stick fight.
That sounds good. Ms. Seeley Smith also shared details of the showtimes and prices.
On the 16th and the 17th, the Friday and the Saturday night, the tickets are $50 each. And then it continues the following week with matinee shows on the Tuesday, the 22nd, Wednesday, the 23rd, and Thursday, the 24th. At 1 o'clock, they're matinee shows, and those are for students. If you come in your school uniform or with student ID, you can get in for $20. And on the evening of the Thursday, there's another 8 o'clock show, and on the Friday, and then we close on Saturday. So we have 9 shows in all.
The relationship between Barbados and the United Nations has been a close one since the island became independent in 1966. And since joining the world body days later on the 9th of December, the two have maintained a cordial relationship. The UN, as part of its activities to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Barbados' independence, mounted an exhibition capturing Barbadian life. Barbadians were also afforded a glimpse into the signing of several agreements. Prime Minister Frondell Stewart, along with Minister of Labour Senator Dr. Esther Bayasuku and Minister of Social Care Steve Blackett, were among the first to view the exhibition. The event also coincided with the launch of the State of the World Population Report from 2016. Liaison Officer with the UN Population Fund, Jane Gibbons, says the theme is 10. How our future depends on a girl this decisive age.
In the report, we are encouraging governments and other stakeholders to increase investments in the health, education and well-being to ensure that by the time the girl reaches age 10, that these issues are addressed. The girl at 10, by 2030, which is the landmark for the 2030 agenda to be achieved, she will be an adult then. And we need to ensure that at this foundation seminal age that these issues are addressed.
Coming up next, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region. But before we get there, here's a tip from Coverley Medical Center.
Regular breast and pelvic examinations are important, especially if you have